I was surprised when I found out you were talking about, I think, was it lupus?
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Rheumatoid
Yeah,
arthritis. Okay. Oh,
rheumatoid
that was,
arthritis.
Heidi, my name is G Brown, and Mr. Brown is not here. But guess who is? My sister from another mister. Yes, Carice. Welcome, Carice. Welcome to Hanging with the Browns. And I will say to you, I am so tickled that we are on this
Mhm.
conversation. I am not kidding. I am not kidding. I am not kidding. Okay, tell me a little bit about what you have gone through health wise.
Okay, so it was around 2015 when my feet started swelling out the blue. I just started getting really swollen feet. And it was around the summertime. Um, and I went to the doctor and they couldn't figure out what it was, but they did test me and they said, we're going to send you to a rheumatologist and let them see if they can figure this out. And it might fall into that category. So I went to a rheumatologist, but it took almost a year to get to the rheumatologist. So I was on steroids for almost a year at that point by the time I got in. And as soon as
Well, let
they
me
did the
ask
blood
this.
work,
Tell
mhm,
me about the steroids during that year. How was that
okay,
year waiting?
okay, that year was horrible because when my feet started to swell, it was like walking on. If you've ever been in like where it's really cold and almost borderline frostbite and your feet feel like ice blocks when you walk, it felt like that. But my feet were puffy, like the clumps, swollen on the top, just real puffy. And my hands had started to swell as well. Fingers just got like hot dogs. And when they put me on the steroid, it started to help bring the swelling down. But prednisone will but give you what they call moon face. So my face started to swell up from the steroids. I started just packing on weight like crazy over that year. And even when I started to see the rheumatologist, he kept me on the prednisone for months more. So I was on prednisone for a year and a half, somewhere around that time frame, just gaining weight and swelling, and also trying numerous drugs to see what would help give relief to the rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. So um, we continued that. I went on um, a low dose chemo drug. I went on so many different drugs. Hair fell out, so that's actually how I went natural. Just from the medicine, trying to get relief and be able to live a regular life. I would go to work and come home and be practically bedridden because I was exhausted. I was nauseous from the medicine. I was completely tired all the time. I would have to take it on Friday. I wouldn't start to feel better until about Wednesday. And then by Friday, I got to take the medicine again. So then
Mm.
finally, I started doing injections in my stomach. So that was the medicine that started to help twice a month. I inject myself in the stomach with immunosuppressant.
And I also
So yeah.
remember uh, during COVID that there was a met, and that was a concern of yours because I think a medicine that you really needed that at that time felt like my life depends on this, and
Oh
it wasn't available, or it was a shortage or something like that. You remember that?
yeah. Yeah, it was tricky because the base had shut down and they were switching where we could get our meds. And then there was a period where they wanted to charge me like $5,000 a month for the medication. It was just a hassle when you don't get the medicine in time because you have to do it every other. So I would do it on Sundays. You have to do it every other Sunday. And if you go days without getting it, it has to remain cold. And so your body starts to have those adverse reactions again, the swelling, the pain. So normally, even with that medicine in the morning, I'm still going to have that stiffness. I'm still going to have those block feeling feet. So once I met the rheumatologist and started treatments and got on this wonderful drug that I thought was just the greatest thing ever because now I can actually function I have lots of other things going on. There's going to be those adverse reactions to the medicine and stuff, but um, I still have those feelings. But being on an immunosuppressant, I was terrified. I wasn't going outside. I didn't want my daughter outside. I didn't want her going to see her dad because I'm like, I don't know where he been. And it was just terrifying because my immune system, it's supposed to shut your immune system down a bit. And so I need to not get sick because my
So
body is,
pretty
in
much,
order for me to be okay, I gotta, reduce the way my body responds to things.
right. So I think everybody, for those that during COVID, you didn't know what was going on. And
Hmm.
even though I can't totally relate, I do remember like you didn't want people to come around you because you didn't
Oh yeah,
know.
no.
Yeah, so that is
Mm-mm.
like a feeling you were having the entire time. And then
The
COVID,
entire
I'm pretty
time.
sure just really added to it. Oh
Oh
my.
yeah, then there's more stress because I still needed to co-parent. I still need to be able to allow her to go spend time with her dad. But for a while, I was like, mm-mm. And then you gotta be able to agree on, don't take her out to eat, don't take her out the house, just let it be with you. And when he's like, it's okay, and I'm like, no, I'm not okay though. So I'm panicking.
Right.
I'm like, nobody's understanding. I need to be in a bubble, so I need everybody who's gonna be around me to be in a bubble too. So it was stressful.
I started blowing your messaging up, and I was like, "Look at this, watch this." I kid you not. And and what I say to a lot of people, just give me 30 days, 30 days. So
Yeah,
now tell
exactly.
me, how was, first of all, what did you think when I was telling you, girl, just eat only meat?
Okay, so first, um, I'll go backwards because the movie had came out, What the Hell? And everybody's like, you gotta watch it. And I said, I'm not watching it because I don't want anything to stop me from eating what I want to eat. So I'm not gonna watch that. Then when you sent me the video, I was first like, what is this? I'm not gonna watch this. And then you sent a message and I was like, she really wants me to watch this. Okay, let me go ahead and watch it. So I watched and I was like, now I'm confused because I'm like, well, wait a minute, is she vegan? But I said, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't want to do this because I have a feeling she's gonna tell me I can't eat sweet. And I was like, I am not doing this. But then I thought like everything, she has never failed me on this. When she tells me, okay, you need to do this, I'm always like, oh my gosh, I can't take on one other thing. And then when I do it, I was like, okay, yeah, she was on point. But I was like, no, please, please do not right now. And then I started thinking, well, my birthday is coming. And I ain't really feeling all that hot girl summerish. So I was like, maybe I think I could. She said just 30 days. I think I can do 30 days. And then if it works, then I'll just look more fly for my birthday. But if it don't, then I'm going back to eating my sweets.
Yeah, I remember. And then I would, I think it was probably, I don't know, Sunday or Monday, we were connecting. I said, give me an update. And when you gave me the one update where you said, gee, my feet and hands are
Yeah.
normal, girl, I had actually teared up
Yeah.
because I know what it feels like to not want to walk on your feet. Mine had to do
Mm,
with uh, uh like 250 pounds, but not what you were going through.
yeah.
So, and I'm like, this hurts me. I can't imagine what that feels like for you. So, was it difficult? So, in other words, if someone else is watching this
Hmm.
and they have some ailments or just anything, what would you say? Tell me your process. What are you feeling better? Or just let everybody know. Is it worth
Okay.
it?
So the first week, yes, 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 and yes. At first, I think because I eat so many sweets and I remember you saying something about that's an emotion, you're emotionally eating. And I was like, no, I just love the way they taste. And so after that first week, I was like, I should have just ate a lot of sweets the night before because I was still going through the process of those cravings and getting all that stuff out of my body. And then I want to say just a little over a week. I noticed I felt a little different, and I was like, "My feet feel a little different." And then I can't remember if it was right at I don't think it was right at 2 weeks. I think it was under 2 weeks. Whenever I text my messenger and I said, I was in shock because I was like, "Wait a minute. I'm used to when I get out of the bed, I kinda walk like this because my feet don't bend." I'm used to since 2015, my feet not bending properly. They kinda I'm just trying to, they're just hitting the ground like that. So I got up that morning to go to the bathroom and I said, "Did I just walk to the bathroom like a normal person?" And it shocked me, and I started doing like this because I'm used to it's stiff, and it's usually for me stiff for about right around 10 minutes in the morning. I go through the block, and so with the medicine, I thought, "Shoot, 10 minutes in the morning, I'm relieved." But now I don't have any of that. I don't have any of the stiffness in my hands, stiffness in my feet. I get up and walk like a regular person. And I was super, super shocked just because I'm putting this medicine in my stomach that I never thought I would do that. I'm like, I don't know how people do it. And then I'm doing that. And all I had to do was change my diet. They could have just told me, I just got to stop eating this stuff and eat like this. Yeah.
But just imagine if they
I could
told
have
us
almost
that.
cried. I could have cried myself, but I was so hyped
Here's
on
the thing, if
like
they
this
told
really
us
changing
that,
my life.
do you know how many people would be out of a job? They didn't spend
Right.
all that money to go to school. No. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's really, really sad. Then you had a doctor's appointment
Mhm.
and you had a blood
Well,
pressure
before the
up.
doctor's appointment, even before that, I I also have asthma. And with asthma, I use my inhaler, I mean, at least on a good week, 2, 3 times a week. And I have a nebulizer. And that's on a good week. I have not used my inhaler since I started this process. I'm not using inhaler or the nebulizer. I woke up one day and was like, you know what? And even my friend was like, you don't cough all night like you used to. You're not coughing all the time. And he's like, you're laughing, but you're not saying, hold on, and then taking a puff of your inhaler. I just couldn't believe it. So my
Girl,
lungs, the inflammation that was in my lungs has had to cleared up just from changing what I'm eating. So you mean to tell me the processed food was causing inflammation in my lungs so that I couldn't breathe, take a deep breath in and breathe out regularly?
where I know that we talked about the 30 days.
Mm.
Where are you now with your decision?
Right now, um, I mean, there's no way like I can go backwards. So we're still processing because I haven't seen my regular doctor to talk about all the blood pressure medication and that kind of stuff and tapering off because I don't want to do anything too hastily. But my appointment's coming up, so we're going to talk about that part. When I went to my rheumatologist and he felt my joints, he's like, "You don't have inflammation in your joints." So I can't go back to that. What I can say is, as we start to, I want to try like how you can just bring in one food here and see how it works. But I know because of how my body has responded, if I eat something that my body doesn't like, I'm going to know. I'm going to know that night because I'm going to feel it in my joints. And I know that thing right there is going to make me have to do either injections in my stomach or make a decision to change and stick with the food. So right now my process is I'm still on it tight. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh, my birthday, I want a piece of cake." Maybe I could just get a little bit, but I know that those things are poison, basically. So I'm still in the process. I'm not saying I'll never, eat the things that I like, but I know that there's going to be a consequence if I do eat it. And so I've got to find a way to love. And I think one of my things is the hardest part for me has been getting enough fat. 'cause I don't think we talked about the how much weight loss. I mean,
Yeah, tell
the
us.
weight was coming off of me like this. In the first couple weeks, I was down 14 pounds. 2 weeks,
Mm,
14 pounds were gone. And then I started saying, "Gee, I don't know, I'm kinda stalled out." It wasn't that I was gaining weight, but I was just staying. You said, "You need more fat, you need more fat." So I've had to find other ways to get that fat in, um, because of my palate. Some stuff I just textures are just a little hard, so I was trying fat back here. I'm like, "No, nobody, I would've believed no one if they said, 'You get to eat bacon as much as you love bacon.' You can eat fat back and it's okay." But yeah, so I'm adding in those things and now the weight's coming down. I'm down 16 and a half pounds at this point and I feel better. I feel lighter. I feel more like me than me that has probably been lost for years
mm,
because everything as life goes on and you're unhappy with yourself, then you start to not you're not feeling like yourself. I feel more like me. I feel that it helps me in interacting with people and just being able to feel like I want to live life. I always tell people tell me, "You work too much, you got too many little things going on." I remember coming home and being in that bed. And I remember saying, "God, don't let me be bedridden." So I don't want to be back in a space where if I choose, I'm choosing to eat processed food, and now I'm back in the bed, and they're gonna just keep on poking me with different kind of meds and needles, and well, that needle doesn't work. Let's try this one over here, and
mm.
continuing to go that lifestyle when I can just not eat that stuff and live a full life. So that's where I'm at with it now. And some people are like, "That's enough on the weight loss." And I'm like, "Wait, just a little bit more." But it's more even not even the weight anymore. I really think at this point, I never saw myself even getting to this point where I like what I see and how I feel. Because when you're sick or you have this illness, you just don't even like the way you feel. Then that changes how you look. The medicines changed my face, my skin, and now when you look at sometimes, you look in the mirror and you're like, "I don't like that way I look today." And now I can just see the changes in my skin and stuff. So yeah, this is a journey for me. And I'm transitioning those that I love right on with me.
I remember one of our last text messages, you said something about your blood pressure.
Hmm.
And what
Yeah,
was
my
that?
blood pressure was really good when I went to the doctor and I hadn't taken the meds or anything. And I'm like, I don't think my blood pressure has ever even been this good on the meds. So I
And
was
that's
like, I
something?
can't wait. I can't wait to go and to my appointment. Let's just go through the full panel because they put me on the folic acid. I did B12 shot injections in my hip. I went through a period last year of falling asleep driving on the way to work, falling asleep driving on the way from work for a period of like 7, 8 months. I mean, I
Mm.
don't have any of those issues. None of those. Like energy was always an issue. I don't have any of those. Any of those. And I
I
can't
remember
wait
you
to
said,
get the lab work. Yeah.
yeah, I remember you, and that's another thing. Well, let me finish the first thought. I remember you having to cancel shows and stuff like that because
Hmm.
I would see your post and I'm like, were you it wasn't a good day or it wasn't a good weekend. Sorry guys, I got to cancel
Hmm.
my show. So this, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, wow. This
And that
is
would be
like,
the constant coughing because they couldn't even figure out I had asthma. No doctor could figure out I had asthma and I was coughing to the point that I was wetting myself.
mm,
And the doctor wanted to continue to try to figure it out. And finally I went to her with tears streaming down my face. I said, "I don't want you to figure it out anymore. Send me to a specialist." And she did. And that's when I got the diagnosis and we started the treatments. And it's actually two inhalers because there's one that I do every morning. And now to know that like all the inflammation can be adjusted with by changing what I'm putting in my body and I don't even have to do the meds. It's crazy.
well, I want to say thank you. I want to
Thank
say thank
you.
you.
Thank
No,
you.
listen, thank you for uh loving me all those years ago. Thank you for remaining to be my little sister. Thank you
Thank you.
for listening, receiving, because especially when you get older, you're looking for longevity. And
Right,
I'm sorry, I
right.
have no desire whatsoever for my longevity to be with a cane. I look at some people, the cane, I don't want a hip replacement. I don't want any of those things. And I'll be honest, in my 58 days of being on this diet, my inside, I feel like I'm 32 years old on the
Mhm.
inside. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Now, I do see like in my, I'll be 60. I'm on my road to 60, but
Mm.
uh, the damage that I did to my body by stretching the skin. So
Mhm.
I have extra. I'm still working on it, but yeah, the inside, my the I'm talking the way I feel is remarkable.
Oh, yeah,
I
that whole
never
I thought bloating was just something
a
that was
part.
just a part of me. Feeling
I this
bloated
is
in my stomach, I was like, "Oh, that's just how I feel. That's just normal for me."
I thank you. I thank you for sharing your story. I
Thank
thank
you.
you for loving me and trusting, and trying this, because with the losses that I have received, now I am adamant, for all of us to make it to at least 100. And I'm talking 100 and feeling good and looking
Right,
good.
right.
And yes, in your joint, there's no joint pain. I remember I could not, um, there was so much inflammation, I couldn't even screw off a water bottle. Those
Yes,
little gripper
that
things
is
that I had to
challenging.
get.
That was challenging. Even gripping a pen, I was like, "I can't write today. I can't write today
Wow,
because my hand would just hurt so bad."
so bad. Wow, wow. Well, I'll say again, thank you so much. I'm going to
Thank
close
you.
this out. Hopefully, your story will help someone to make the decision to do things differently. And once again, just try it for 30 days. 30 days. And
30
after
days.
that, then you make your decision on what you want to do. You look at the fact that this 30 days and the way your body is feeling, because the 30 days going to pass
Yeah,
whether you want them to or not.
that part, yeah.
Yeah. And I will say your first 3 to 5 days is going to be some rough times, because you're detoxing from that sugar and that process. And I tell people all the time, a chef did not make that food, a chemist did.
Mhm.
And they are being paid by the company that's asking them to make it. It's just like if you're going to make some perfume and you go there and they got the different smells for you. Well, they have the different things for the taste buds in your mouth that's going to make them some more
Yes.
money. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys
Okay.
for tuning in. Thank you for listening to her story.
Thank you, everyone, for watching the show. We really enjoyed bringing the show to you, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. And take a look at one of these. We'll put it in one of these corners.